Annette and Alice.
We go into the ban with Murad out for Nova, Florentino and Nakot quickly afterwards. It's pretty fast, this.
Yeah, they know what they want to ban.
And it's all the OPs so far. The only shift away from it is Nova getting rid of all junglers, meaning that this needs to be in Elsu. Okay, never mind. That'll be Elsu and Richter.
A Slowman, something like that. Angra is the one that was target banned, by the way, for that Murad and Nakroth. And no surprise, we have an Elsu.
Well, Nova, I should think, have just won that. There'll be a Richter in response from Pain Gaming, but I do think that is somewhat devastating result in the early phase, especially as Nova are able to double down. They'll grab an Annette as well.
As long as they have a way to deal with Elsu, which is a big if, then I think that Pain is in good shape because we've seen this start of the draft work for them. Having the Angra on the jungle Ryoma and having ZRK on the Richter.
Feels like you're trying to find a good thing to say about what feels like a draft that's slipping away here.
It worked in the past, these two, so.
Okay, we have Annette and Marja locked in for Nova and the Flash. And Wonder Woman brings some DC action to Pain.
I like the flash into Elsu. We've seen that a few times work out all right.
But
no
Wonder
ADC.
Woman,
There's no ADC yet, and they need a support, so they're not going to have one.
Yeah, you're actually right. Unless this Wonder Woman's run-in support, which is possible.
Quillen
they will.
makes an
Okay.
appearance.
Okay, so either there's a Wonder Woman or the Richter is the support, which we rarely see.
Yeah. We are seeing Quillen for the first time today, and I think maybe this whole weekend. I'm not sure we saw much Quillen yesterday.
This is going to work out great for them. I think that Nova realized what Pain was doing, knew that they saw that they had a very squishy lineup and said, okay, we're going to go for Quillen to take advantage of your relatively squishy support heroes.
Angra is taking jungle on the Wonder Woman. ZRK in the side lane with Ryoma, which has been devastating. And it will be support Joker. No, support Richter, sorry.
Yeah, support Richter, which, again, we talked about earlier. We thought it was going to happen, but that was a misdraft. I didn't say I was a fan. I said it's happened.
You were really defensive all of a sudden.
I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm excited to see them try it. It's been played in Thailand by Korean players, and apparently it's a thing in the European region because Rez, aka Hot, mentioned that he considers Richter as a support god tier.
So the number one thing you look for in supports that makes Richter possible as one of them is the mobility. What you want from a support, and this is why Superman and Joker occasionally play the support as well. You want the support to be able to be anywhere on the map in order to enable a team fight. So being able to sprint across the map with the river speed buff of a Richter puts him in the category of capable supports, but he doesn't really have any healing or too much on-demand CC. No point-and-click stuns apart from that jungle strike, which has a slight knock-up.
You have to be in the bushes in order to have the knock-up on jungle strike, which is something that you need to have happen, which it makes it more situational.
Yeah.
We don't see a lot of Richter. Let's just quickly explain a little bit more about this. One thing unique to him is where he is can give him different benefits.
Yes. So he either gets attack speed or movement speed, or he gets attack damage, where he is in the river, the grass, or the bushes. But most importantly, that jungle strike from the bushes will give him that knockup.
All right, here we go for Nova against Pain, and a big statement for the Latin American region.
An opportunity to claim the title of the best team in LATAM, I think, at least between the two defending finalists from the last season. Pain Gaming weren't in there as an organization, but the core of this roster was playing under the tag of Geo Esports at the time.
I say Pain needs to win this early game hard, or else they're going to lose, CJ.
All right, well, we'll see. ZRK looked devastating last time he played this character. Do you think that's about to come through again?
Very well could, but Sir Mustard has something to say about onto Mana Frieza.
Already poking back Mana Frieza. Dale Dunn will rotate down from the top lane. Oh, ZRK in trouble. I take it back. We will not see a devastating early game from ZRK. We will see No Mercy stepping up on the Quillen.
Yeah, that is very surprising. Usually you don't see the jungle rotate over until they have that level 4, but No Mercy with a calculated risk going for that level 2 rotate, and it's definitely caught ZRK off guard.
Mana Frieza will now take advantage of the rest of Pain Gaming pushing forward. They want to interrupt Sir Muster. Can't do it in time. They can't take the Sage Golem as Shaka comes through. Good wind gust, good gust force, and it's almost a good 2 kills. Now Shaka's under threat.
Wow.
The lasso, Angra, you're insane. He's got a kill to his name. And No Mercy's trying to punish him for it, but Angra will simply turn his face. The L2 snipe evens things up. Angra can't turn it. Mana Frieze can't. Jiving in. Metal there for the response. Gets tagged a little bit too low and will super speed away. Oh, Mana Frieze takes the damage. It doesn't matter if you're invulnerable to the CC. The punish from the damage is still there. Deldon, I don't think even you can take this fight. I think Sir Buster might be able to pick up a lot. The flicker gets him to safety. The rocket barely short.
Pick a card, any card, kept him alive there, kept him invulnerable to physical damage, TJ. And by the way, I gotta say, it's taken us 3 games, but welcome to LATAM.
Yeah, no, we're definitely back. Fights across the map as Pain Gaming managed to stabilize and go for this Abyssal Dragon despite being at a kill deficit.
Yeah, they're able to take this pretty easily as Norote comes over, but Nova still has that gold advantage, so they're perfectly fine with it.
Pain Gaming will press forward to take the enemy jungle as well, trying to undo that Nova gold advantage, and they do, taking a buff out of No Mercy's hands. No
Mercy needs to get farmed up before he can do any damage. He needs to have that Clavis Sancti because that increases the damage in which he does on his crit attacks, which start at 125% for Quillen.
Let's talk about this mid Elsu though, because we've seen a couple Elsus be run in mid. You've definitely expressed the opinion that you don't really like it. You'd rather see side lane Elsu. How do you feel about that?
Hold on a moment though, because they're dying over here on the side.
Just a little bit of poke. Pain Gaming will brawl back, chasing 0-8 back. I don't think he'll get to safety, and we can return to the subject of Elsu.
All right, we'll finish the discussion now because I like it in this case because they have the magic damage coming from Marja, who's a more natural side lane hero, which allows them to run this. So I like this a lot better than you would normally see if you had to force a mage to play the side lane to make it work.
They do still have the magic damage, like you say, from 0-8, who has been struggling in this lane against Ryoma, but that's a pretty good matchup for him.
Right, it'll get better as the game goes on.
Oh, Sir Muster, this was a trap. Do they have the damage to back it up? No. Deldon cannot quite finish the kill. Sir Muster is chased down by a projectile. One single throwing knife chases him to the ends of the earth.
Oh my goodness, that knife. It was a homing missile, apparently able to get him through all of that, but they do get the return kill off an amazing Hurricane Wall.
Now, Mana Frieze will dive in, trying to battle Sir or No Mercy, rather, scaring him back a decent amount. Metal will come through alongside Angra for the focus in. That Quillen, like you say, is gone.
No Mercy needs to farm more, TJ. He doesn't do the damage quite yet. He needs that crit chance. And if you haven't played Quillen, every time you get crit chance, it increases your crit damage instead because he gets 100% crit on the backsides of the opponents.
So you're guaranteed a critical hit if you're attacking the back of an opponent, which means the number one thing you want to do is buy critical percent chance items, because that actually just raises the amount of damage you do when you hit somebody in the back.
Right, and it's pathetic in the early game, so he needs those items.
So overall, in trouble, will go down. Shaka's Hurricane Wall is too late. Sir Muster will go back into the Cyclone and pay the price.
I talked about Pain needing to win this early game hard, and they're starting to fulfill that promise.
A tornado warning in the Nova Esports jungle as the Flash has been a constant presence.
Absolutely. Though it is a Cyclone, Metal will correct you on that one.
Look, I'm not from the Midwest.
Okay.
Mana Frieze will go in. My God, Nova. They never had an opportunity to get their own jungle.
Right, but you just have to let it go. You can't fight 1v3, No Mercy. Embrace the macro, please. Just get some gold somewhere. Just tell your lane allies to get out of there and give you the gold there because you can't fight right now.
No, and Pain Gaming are running away with the gold game now. Sir Muster will get some back. This is a little bit of bullying, but Deldon reads it, flickering through. Now trying to get to safety. He won't make it happen.
He was actually being invulnerable through a lot of that, but yeah, does go down in the end. And Pain, because of their aggression, they're turning those kills into towers.
Did you see Metal, just when the Elsu snipe was coming through, he just stopped dead as the snipe came out, just to dodge it. That was really clever.
Yeah, because normally you want to keep moving as Metal to enable your passive to get that nice punch up, but you want to stop for a moment to be able to dodge that. Dodging by standing still the best way.
Take your thumb off the joystick, and you can never be hit.
I don't know if that's true, but
That's statistically accurate.
for that one time. 1 out of 1, 100%.
CRK in trouble down in bot lane as the Hurricane Wall boosts him out of position. He has the heal up, but the damage to follow, and he's forced to retreat well into the enemy, or into his own jungle, rather. 0-8 actually might be in trouble as well. The Cyclone there, and Deldon has the kill before it collapses. Sir Monster will back out behind the tower. This is true LATAM, I have to say.
It absolutely is. You got to give them credit for one thing. They aren't exactly taking 4v4 team fights. They're finding picks across the map, and that's kind of macro.
Right, but they're just going for kills across the map. We have 16 kills in the first 7 minutes, more than most EU games, and we've only lost 3 towers, sorry.
Yeah, gotta get that tower score up in order to have it compete with the kill score just a little bit here, but they're working on it.
16 kills.
That's kind of a lot now that you say it.
Pain Gaming do have control of the gold game currently off of those 2 Abyssal Dragons they've taken. I lose count. And they'll have an opportunity to take another. For now, though, they focus on heeding my advice. That tower will be removed in mid.
A rare Essence of the Wind spot here used to be the go-to support item for supports, but now that Ring of the Fiend and Tide College Mark is a thing, you don't see it quite as often.
The Essence of the Wind giving shielding, time coolers for speed. There is Mana Frieza in trouble. He'll spend that retaliation to back out. This Abyssal Dragon up for grabs for both sides as Pain Gaming focus it down. They'll pick it up, boosting their gold further.
I want to mention that Clavesante is finally picked up here for No Mercy, and that is beyond the critical item for him because it raises his critical chance by 62.5%, or his critical damage, excuse me, because of the addition of the critical chance and the critical damage. That means he's going to be doing way more damage every time he gets behind someone.
A technical pause called by Nova Esports, presumably someone having some disconnecting issues. But they're also having some issues in-game, Daniel, so let's take a moment where there aren't fights happening to talk about what they can improve. Why has this game gone wrong?
They have taken fights they shouldn't take. It comes down to that. So many times No Mercy has died trying to protect something that he has no ability to protect.
Right, but how do you, if you're a jungler, deal with the fact that the enemy is living in yours and you don't have your teammates to help you?
You go where they're not. You go where there's not 3 people waiting there to kill you. They cannot take all of your jungle and all of their jungle, so you take their jungle while they're taking yours.
If 3 players are diving into your jungle to take a buff, that is a cue that there are 3 players not playing lane and not playing jungle.
Yes, exactly. So you go into their jungle. There's some jungle on the map, right? It's not like Pain can just use some sort of cataclysm, Illumia ult to kill all the jungle monsters at once. That's not possible. So, there's going to be something on the map somewhere.
And that's something we've seen as a consistent problem for newer teams. They don't quite recognize how to leverage the opportunities they're given. Not only can the jungler himself look for a response on the map, maybe you send some players with him to escort into the enemy jungle, but they can also pressure lane during that time. If you see 3 players all grouped up inside your jungle, you should be able to win lane push.
Yeah, and people look at Quillen and they say, well, he's probably an early game hero because he's an assassin. But no, you need to build him up. You need to have him have that damage before he can go in there. He is decidedly a mid to late game hero because of that massive damage he can do once he gets his build going. Which
means it's even more important that he doesn't take these early game jungle fights.
Exactly.
He needs to be focusing on farm, not battle.
Exactly.
He's a farmer, not a fighter. My golem
early.
Will be early. It turns round. He changes profession.
Yeah, his childhood, he's a farmer. Once he grows up.
The only crops he's raising are blood. Pain Gaming.
I don't know why that was so funny.
Yeah, it was not that good.
it tickled me, though.
Pain Gaming are continuing to win out the overall macro play. And they've got a little bit of an Abyssal Dragon addiction, and their 4th one will be coming up in just a minute, should they have the opportunity to get it. Angara, though, will lead things off by pressing into the enemy jungle with a good bracelet, and the follow-through is there. A slaughter at the back lines. Pain Gaming get 3 more kills. Shaka, Sir Muster, No Mercy are all gone.
I guess you don't need a support if your support can go in there with Hunter's Mark and kill everyone, TJ. What just happened?
Mana freezing happens. He stood in the middle of the team fight, applied that Hunter's Mark. The AoE cloud of shadows around the Richter does damage if you stand in it too long. 10 ticks, I believe, of the ability does massive burst.
I gotta say, support Richter really fits LATAM. You just add another fighter in there.
Yeah, sure. Why have defensive characters?
Just kill them all. Why do you need defense when you can just kill the entire team?
He's got the most kills on the team.
Exactly. It's nuts. He has the most opportunity to kill them too. Oh wow.
That was good
wow.
though. Metal and Mana Freeze and the Joker all comboing for a kill.
You know, theoretically, if you're the support, you're roaming, which means you have the most chance for kills. It's true.
Sure?
It's true.
They're now currently taking Darkslayer and Abyssal Dragon simultaneously. Cool.
Yeah.
TRK responsible for the Abyssal.
But yeah, sure.
Darkslayer already scooped up. Pain Gaming definitely feeling control.
So there's an Abyssal Curse. If you take one epic monster, then it makes it harder to take the other one. So Pain doing both at the same time is usually difficult, but they're just gonna say, they're gonna greed it up this time.
I'd actually like to highlight something in Mana Freeze built. He's built War Boots. Oh, sorry,
No.
sorry.
Yeah,
Hermes Select,
Hermes
that's what
Select.
I meant. Which means he's going really fast.
Really, really fast, especially with Ring of the Fiend. That is definitely 800 units per second. That is the max speed coming out of him.
Because Hermes Select is the fastest movement. It doesn't give you any of the other buffs that the other boots do, but it gives you the fastest movement.
Out of combat.
And while he's running on the river, he gets a speed boost because he's Richter. And he has Ring of the Fiend, which gives him a speed boost when he taps it.
He doesn't even need to be in the river, by the way, to go max speed. I've done the math. So he could just be anywhere and go max speed. It's pretty nuts. That Frostgate, by the way, is to allow him to be more like a support. You know, do a little bit of supporty things, you know, slow people down.
Yeah, actually, that's a really fun combo. The Frost Cape applies slow to anyone you're hitting.
Yes.
So if he pops the Hunter's Mark, that big AoE damage in the middle of a team fight, they're all slow.
Yeah, exactly. All you have to do is do one auto attack after that, and everyone's out of there. Works very well with the jungle strike.
Here's the push coming through in the top lane with the Drake already summoned and Pain Gaming double buffed. They'll look for the push, but they've lost their minions.
The fact that they have double buff here is a good and a bad thing, because if they don't get anything done, then Nova is right back into it.
Yeah, a lot of wasted time, and Pain Gaming actually aren't finding a whole lot with it. They've scared them behind high ground. Now they'll go for the fight. Ghost Walk spent though. Good timing from 0-8.
Yeah, excellent timing there. And you can see he's almost full damage build, so he needs to have perfect timing on those, or else he's going to get deleted.
I've noticed the sentries are positioned underneath all the towers. For people unfamiliar with Elsu, could you touch on why?
The sentries allow you to get more damage if the opponent is standing under them, and allows you to give vision to those opponents. So he wants to be able to snipe them from pretty far away, and once he gets those snipes, it does even more damage.
If you're within those big blue radius from the Elsu sentries, the snipes are hurting a little bit extra.
Exactly.
So, very good defensive play. Pain Gaming aren't able to crack these high grounds yet, and they've been at it a while. Their buffs have now faded.
That is a win, definitely, for Nova.
Paying off, even as the sentries should be under threat. Delton actually very low. SA overall could have gone for the snipe, but didn't quite have vision. He'll replace the sentry now. Agra, what are you doing? Oh my lord! The bracelets, the hurricane wall. It's an early pick. Agra's gone. 0-8 will be knocked low, but they've lost Delta. Metal as well. Somehow, some way, Nova have turned this fight underneath the tower. Crazy over aggression from Agra, and Pain Gaming are completely wiped.
Pain picks the worst time to go in because both buffs were gone, and this could very well be game right here, right now.
They have a minion in mid lane. They have an Elsu to chuck the tower at 20 seconds on the respawn timers. Agra back in 10, but the high ground's gone.
They're taking it.
The wave will be clear. 7 seconds left on Agra. Now 5, and the core is under threat. It is gone as Nova Esports with one team fight sweep all the way back up the map and take game 1.
Just like that, all Nova had to do was hold on and hold on. They did. They aced them onto the tower. Terrible team fight by Pain, but amazing resilience from Nova once more. What a